Let's get right into it. Here we go. So today we're going to be talking about exactly how to reinvent yourself, guys. This is one of the most important things that you need to realize. The crazy thing about this is that you can literally, if you change your life for, 5 months, 6 months, you're locking for 6 months, you could literally change about not only how you view yourself, but how others view you, which is the craziest shit of all time if you really think about it. Like literally before I was the leanest version of myself, everyone was just like, "Oh, that's inconsistent Luther. That's Luther that shows up for a little bit and then he doesn't show up. He's just a lame. This is that." Like I said earlier, I was literally the lamest kid in my class. Not even kidding. Like going from the lamest kid to like now walking in the room and people look at you, people pay attention to you, and like going from having no self confidence to having self confidence. That's like some of the craziest stuff ever. And it's crazy that you can do that if you really just lock in mentally and actually reinvent yourself. So that's one of the craziest things. One of the biggest factors that I noticed when you really focus your energy internally, you'll be able to give more, but you'll also become more, right? So the first thing that's going to be important, first of all, is definitely going to be the mental diet. That's the most important thing when it comes to changing your physical, changing your mental. Obviously, is the mental diet, right? So what you consume on social media, a lot of you guys, what you consume on social media, you're consuming negative shit. I see a lot of people in comment sections arguing about the goofiest shit. Like I see people in shade room comments, you know, be on gridiron, like, all the sports comments arguing about like quarterbacks and running backs, like, no, my running back is better than yours. No, my quarterback's better than yours. Like, meanwhile, these quarterbacks and running backs don't give a fuck about you, right? Like, if something goes wrong with you, they don't even know you exist. All right. And you're not getting paid, you're not improving in any aspect of life. You defending your team. It's not your team, you're not fucking playing for them. Right. I know you have the and everything, but if your health is off track and you're literally out of shape and your wife isn't attracted to you, your girlfriend's not attracted to you, you're not really taking care of your kids, and you're just giving all your energy to your team, and they're not giving anything to you, then you're wasting your time. I see that shit all the time. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of a team. I'm just saying, like, people are defending players on the team, and that team doesn't even know they exist. Consuming negative mindset, the news, celebrity gossip, all of that shit doesn't matter. Consuming that stuff benefits you in no way. All right, you consuming that takes away from you consuming positivity and pouring it back into yourself. All right. Obviously, negative mindset is going to lead to negative action, which is why it's so important to not consume this stuff constantly. Like if you wake up and the first thing you do is you check on the news of your team, like, well, it's the NFL draft. What quarterback is my team going to get? Are we going to make a change this year? Like shit like that. If you're always thinking about that instead of prioritizing yourself, you're already fucked. All right, you're cooked. When you consume positive motivational videos, Jim Rohn, Myron Golden, you listen to Jeff Logan, things like that, you're going to start to think on a bigger level, which means you'll act on a bigger level as well. Most emails, advertisements, on YouTube, even after this ad, you might see a cookie ad or something like that, which is crazy. Right? And after this video, you might see like a cookie ad or some politics or something like that. There's a lot of negative stuff on the news. You want to really make sure that you're filtering, through that, because like I said, if you're consuming negative, you can't be positive. It's just not going to happen. If you're thinking negative, you're going to do negative. Now, another thing, you want to watch. Listen, there's nothing wrong with watching anime. Like, I'm surprised that a lot of people play video games and watch anime and they don't apply it to their own lives. It's mind-boggling to me because most anime is a character overcoming significant adversity and becoming the best version of themselves. Right? Like for me, right, my life is like a isekai because me up till the age of like 2019ish, those ages, that's one life, and then after that is a whole different life. Like, not only did I change my life, but people look at me differently, I look at myself differently, and literally the trajectory completely happened because I drew inspiration from Naruto, drew inspiration from Samurai Champloo and all those animes, and applied it to my life and actually started because life is similar to a game. You're constantly leveling up in other aspects. Like when you level up in fitness, you start being like, I wonder if I could level up at work. You level up at work, you're like, I wonder if I could level up in the dating market. You level up in the dating market, and then you're like, wow, if I work on these things, I can actually level up. Like I could increase my XP or whatever the fuck they call it. Right? It's literally like a video game. So you don't understand why people play video games and they don't apply it to their life, right? Start applying that shit to your life because you can gamify your life and you can improve on every aspect. Now, it's going to take discipline, hard work, and consistency. But like I said, you could improve in every aspect. Just like the gym, it's like you see the person benching 315, on incline, and they have a huge chest, you know, and they have huge shoulders doing side raises, and they're squatting 4 5. You start with the bar and everything. Eventually, you're going to get to that level if you stay consistent. That's exactly how it is. All right. So Gamify life. Stop watching hentai. Stop whacking your shit. Too many of you guys have calluses and it's not from the gym. It's from whacking your shit. So stop doing that. All right. Let's see, lift weights and build muscle. That's going to change your mindset. Just going through the arduous process of lifting weights, building muscle, being consistent, it teaches you on the next level just how important consistency is, number one. But number two, I mean, you get mentally tougher when you're constantly showing up to the gym, constantly doing what you need to do. And obviously, it's a bad idea to put red on blue. This shit is hurting my eyes. But anyways, compound movements are going to incorporate more muscle groups. Obviously, lifting more weights, building more muscle is going to increase your testosterone. The more testosterone you have, the more focus you have, which is why they bottle that shit up and people take that shit, because the more testosterone, the better, guys. So when you lift weights, right, you're actually going to be able to build more muscle, more testosterone, which is going to be very, very important. Another thing, get lean. A lot of you guys have way too much body fat. You have excess body fat, and that excess body fat is leading to what? Extra estrogen for this. So it's like, it's not like when you have more body fat, there is zero benefits. It's never a good thing. Having extra body fat is never a good thing, right? You never go to the doctor like 15%. They're like, oh, you need to put on some more body fat. They're like, oh, you're doing good, keep it up, right? If you have 40%, they're not going to be like, oh wow, body positivity. No, they're gonna be like, you're fucked. Your health is fucked. Lock in, right? Because there's no benefit. You're producing more estrogen, which means less testosterone production, right? And then obviously your wife or your girlfriend's not gonna be attracted to you, and you're not gonna have as much energy because it's putting you down. Obviously, you're not gonna have as much confidence because let's keep it a buck. I know a lot of people like to lie and this is that, whatever. Obviously, if you look like this, first, if you look like this, you're gonna have more confidence here because you're keeping commitments to yourself, number one, right? And you're proud of what you see in the mirror. Obviously, if you look like this, you're not gonna be proud of what you see in the mirror. It's literally impossible. It is what it is. I don't want to hear people say like, no, yes, you can, you can. No, the fuck, you can't. Shut up. All right. Majority of men are overweight and produce way more estrogen than our ancestors because of their habits, to be honest. Obviously, there's seed oil and all this other plastic shit. Yeah, whatever. It's still based on what you still do the best with what you have, right? Do the best with the card that you have dealt. All right. So, with what you have available, eat the best that you can, right? And let's get right into that. Honestly, look, eat more healthy fats. Butter's healthy. All right. Eggs, red meat, all that's healthy. Obviously, the government says it's unhealthy because obviously they're trying to run a pharmaceutical company throughout the whole fucking nation, right? The more they say that stuff is unhealthy, the more you'll eat shit that's actually unhealthy, and the more you'll need drugs, right? Very simple. It's a very simple business model. Now, don't come in here and say soy protein is healthy and vegan, all that goofy shit. If you go vegan, you're gonna have these deficiencies with vitamin B, maybe some iron deficiencies, and then you're gonna have issues, right? And you're not gonna build as much muscle. So I'm not even gonna entertain it. Healthy cholesterol is essential for testosterone production, right? Which means, like this said, the butter, the eggs, the red meat, all of it. Make sure you're eating healthier foods, more naturally occurring foods. When you start eating these foods, you can see your mindset is going to shift. You're going to be more focused. It's going to be your mental clarity is going to be off the charts, and you're going to be like, wow, like what the fuck have I been doing my whole life? Like you're going to understand what I'm saying. You don't just listen to what I'm saying. Actually apply this shit. All right. Obviously, eat more protein. Like I said earlier, you're going to build more muscle, produce more testosterone. Protein is essential for that. Protein also keeps you full, and it'll be easier for you to, to eat what you're supposed to be eating. But you're also, like I said, feel different. You'll feel lighter. You'll feel more energetic, and you won't be eating all that processed bullshit. The more protein you eat, the more full you are, the more testosterone you produce. But the more full you are, the more you stay away from the candies and the chips, which people do. It is those two foods literally single-handedly hold most people back, just the candy and chips and shit. All right. Speaking of candy and chips, like stay away from this stuff. The more you eat this, the more fat you gain. That's where man tits come in. That's where estrogen production skyrockets, right? You shouldn't be having bigger titties than your girl, or you shouldn't be like, dang, dude, I really wish Jennifer Lawrence would look at me, but you have bigger titties than her. It's not gonna happen, guys. The insulin resistance, all that stuff, is controlled through what you consume. If you have insulin resistance because you're eating like shit, there's no other reason. All right, you're not moving enough, and you're eating too much bullshit. So decrease the processed sugar intake, replace it with fruits, start working out, and start eating more protein. Very simple, guys. Very straightforward. And of course, get adequate sleep. Unless you're a Twitch streamer, you should not be up, all night, or if you work overnight. But if you're not working or doing something productive overnight, there's no reason you should be, staying up till 4 a.m., waking up at 8 a.m. and getting back on the video game. Like, are you a Twitch streamer? No, you're not. And you suck. You're losing to 7-year-olds. So why are you spending so much time on the game? Like, what is the benefit for you? Stop doing dumb shit like that, right? And like I said, stop playing video games to the point of you can play video games to relax. Like I'll play video games every once in a while if I just want to, relax, chill out, nothing crazy. But don't play video games like 24/7 to the point where you're not eating healthy, you're not taking care of yourself, right? Like video games take priority over your self care. Don't ever get to that point. And a lot of you guys use games as an escape from reality, which, that could be okay if your reality is in check as well. But if your reality is not in check and, in real life, you're out of shape, you're depressed, you're on blood pressure medications, you're eating candy, you're eating fast food, you're beating your meat and all that stuff, and you're playing video games, right? To get away from that, then there's an issue because you have to address those problems because that's real life, right? A lot of us, we want our avatar to be our identity, whatever person you're in the video game, right? Why don't you actually apply the energy that you're putting into the video game, pour that energy into yourself, and then become that person. Because here's the thing, back to what I was saying about getting in shape. Everyone wants to be in shape because when you pick a video game character, you don't pick a fat fuck, right? You always pick someone who's in shape because that's what you want to look like. So why not start going to the gym and eating what you're supposed to instead of beating your meat, eating shit, and then playing video games all day? Simple. And of course, this is probably, I don't know why I put this last. I should have put this shit first. Reading books is by far one of the most underrated things on earth. In order to read a book, guys, in order to read a page, you have to stop everything else you're doing, focus all your energy on that page, right? That's number one. Then you got to realize that books are literally written by the most successful people, right? Like the most successful people are giving you decades of free knowledge that nobody even opens a book to see it. If you were to open books, you're literally going to become more successful because you're going to start to understand the way the world works, the way self-improvement works, the way elevating yourself actually works. And when you change your mindset, that is probably the fastest way to reinvent yourself is keeping your mind sharp, keeping your goals clear, keeping your objectives clear, and understanding what it takes to get to the next level. And like I said, these books are written by the most successful people. So guess what? They have the formula. And when you apply it, you'll be there too. All right. Wake up earlier and have tasks. Now here's the thing. If you wake up early without tasks, you're gonna be like, what the fuck do I do when I'm up? Listen, if you're out of shape, which most people are, if you're out of shape, then that means you should be meal prepping, you should be eating healthy, reading about nutrition, and working out, of course. These are things that you just should be doing. So those are gonna take precedence. And then of course, reading to change your mindset. Make sure you have intention in your career. If you don't have a career that you want to do or you don't know business that you want to start, or you're out of shape, which most people check all three of those boxes, then you have a lot of shit to work on. You have a lot of books to read, right? Number one. Obviously, working out is literally bare minimum maintenance for your physique, right? It's like getting an oil change. It's bare minimum maintenance. So improving in that aspect. Meal prep, making sure you're fueling yourself with the right foods instead of eating bullshit. Because these small tasks that I just said, I know this sounds like nothing. That will literally put you way further than everybody, right? And when you reach like 30, when you're in your 30s, all your friends are going to be on blood pressure medications, and you're not going to be because you did these little things. All your friends are going to be in like $100,000 in debt, and you're not going to be because you did these little things. It's literally reading, right? Very simple, by the way. Reading, working out, actually eating healthy. If you do those things, you're literally 95% of people. Those things seem so simple, but nobody does them. Nobody does that shit. Like out of my high school graduation class, I think I inspired a couple of people to start like, eating healthy and lifting weights, but I mean, at least realistically, like at least 98% of them are just eating whatever. Right? Some of them are still like, coaching football and playing football, so they're in decent shape, but none of them are eating healthy, bro. Like there's literally no one in my graduation class except maybe five people are even eating healthy, working out, time managing, and actually like trying to go somewhere with their life, right? Having direction. Here's another one. Stop chasing chicks for two reasons. All right. If you're someone who actually wants a chick and wants to settle down, if you chase chicks, you're just going to reinforce the fact that you don't have any. You're going to scare them away. Every time I'm doing B-roll and trying to get like videos and stuff like that, for some reason I always see a cat. Right. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's a cat. And every time I'm like, trying to film the cat in slow motion and I'm walking closer to it, it runs away because, it feels like I'm chasing it. Anytime you chase something, you reinforce the fact that you don't have it in the first place and it runs away from you. Right. So if you actually do want chicks, actually like chasing them, first of all, you're going to waste a lot of time. All that time that you're using to chase chicks, you could pour it back into yourself to elevate you to make those chicks attract to you anyways. And if you don't want chicks anyways, you want to actually focus on yourself, you're still going to get chicks because when you focus on yourself, you elevate yourself. Like the reason that when I go to the gym, dudes, girls will always look at me is because that dude is focused on, pleasing that chick 24/7, basically chasing her, getting her validation. And like when she's like, no, let's stay home and eat cookies and watch Netflix, he does that. So then now he's out of shape and I'm not doing that shit. I'm in shape. So the girl's always gonna be like, damn, that dude's way more in shape than my man. So she's always gonna look at me or some other guy in the gym. That's just how it works. That's why if you're on Body Game and watching this, that's why when you're in the gym, there's a dude, he's gonna be kind of out of shape because he eats out when his girl tells him to. He's gonna be a dude. He walks in there with his girl, and guess what his girl can do? She's gonna stare at you the whole time, like, damn, why doesn't my man look like that? Which is the dumbest shit ever, right? Because she wants her man to look like that, but she wants her man to take her out too. Just goofy shit, bro. Do not chase chicks, bro. Don't chase chicks. Don't waste your time. Trust me. All right. Anyways, if you're ready to reinvent yourself, really change your life, you're really locked in, not just like, I think I want to hear something. No. If you're really fucking locked in and you're serious about reaching your goals for real and you're ready to put the work in, link is in the description.